friend's flight to Dulles from Spain, no, from Paris, and my friend's console didn't work. So they reset her next to this man. Let him turn around. Please let him turn around. And he told her what? He said, "Why are you sitting here?" I said, "The flight attendant said I could move here because my seat isn't working." And he literally just kept questioning me and looking at me like, "I don't have to give you a reason. You did not buy the seat. I was told I could move here." He gets up to go speak to the flight attendant. They come back and say, "Oh, he's not happy. Can you get up and move?" First off, I don't care if he's not happy. I was given permission to sit here. I did not ask you to move from your seat. You did not buy this seat. So why are you asking me, a black woman, to get up and move? If he wants to move, he can get up and move. If he doesn't want to sit next to someone black, that is not my problem.
A disturbing incident aboard an Air France flight from Paris to Dallas has drawn outrage after a black passenger was asked to move seats, despite being placed there by a flight attendant due to a malfunctioning console in her original seat. According to eyewitnesses, the woman was offered 2 new seating options by the cabin crew. She selected an available middle seat next to a man and his son. Moments after sitting down, the man turned to her and questioned why she was seated there. The woman politely explained that her assigned seat was broken and the crew had given her permission to relocate. Despite this clear explanation, the man continued to question her presence. He then got up to speak with the flight attendants. Not long after, the woman was told by the crew that the man was not happy and was asked to move again. Shocked and frustrated, she refused, pointing out that she had been reassigned by the airline staff, that the seat wasn't his, and that she had done nothing wrong. Other passengers who witnessed the exchange expressed disbelief. One of her friends seated nearby said the woman remained composed and respectful throughout the incident. She didn't raise her voice or cause a disruption, she simply took the seat she was told to use.
This is the craziest shit I've ever seen on a flight, honestly. The fact that it was him, and then there was an empty seat, and then it was his son. So they literally sat her in the empty seat. And they made her get up and move because he wasn't happy with the fact that she sat next to him. I think we all paid for the same, it's not first class, we all paid for the same price for the seats. So I'm just honestly confused what's going on. Alright, get your bread on camera, right there.
The problem is that he didn't understand what did you see there.
But it's not his business. I told him my seat is not working.
Okay, you see
Exactly. They changed it twice. And then the flight attendant, the tall one, I don't know his name, said, "Here's 2 options of seats that you can move to." So I told him that. But even if so, it doesn't, we don't have to explain to him why. No one paid for the seat. I think I'm just back
understood what he was talking about, the guy on the other side. I'm not sure he heard what was the problem.
But you understand what we're saying? It doesn't matter what the problem was. It's not the seat. He did not buy the seat. Why do you care? If it wasn't me, someone else could have been sitting there. It just happened that the flight wasn't finished.
The best thing would be for you next time to go with the flight attendant in case if there is any problem. The flight attendant.
That's not okay, babe. My love, that's not okay. That's not okay at all.
I understand. But that is the explanation he gave me.
So the explanation that he gave is that he didn't know why she sat next to him. It's none of your business why she sat next to him. You didn't pay for the middle seat. Sorry, he just picked it up. He's just really not happy. The flight attendant said, "I'm sorry, he's just not happy. Can you please get up?" In a seat that he put her in. And she did nothing. She's the calmest soul I know. Crazy.
And yet, the crew chose to prioritize the other passengers' discomfort over her right to sit where she was placed. To make matters worse, after the woman became visibly emotional and began crying, one flight attendant appeared sympathetic at first. But just minutes later, that same attendant was seen laughing and chatting with the man who had objected to her sitting there. His daughter reportedly joined in, looking over and laughing as well. Witnesses said the entire incident felt like a mockery. I never knew that we lived in a time where we can have a preference of who sits next to us and who doesn't sit next to us on a flight. This is the most bogus response I've ever seen to an incident like this. Aside from him questioning her, which he shouldn't have done, when did it become okay for someone to say, well, you know, he was not happy with you sitting there, so you have to move? I'm confused. I'm a little outraged. Well, I'm a lot outraged by this incident, honestly. The lack of accountability that's taken by Air France, I'm honestly shocked. Because to be next to my friend while she was going through this was the most painful thing to watch. To see someone treated like that is not okay. She literally got sat in this new seat by the flight attendant. If you guys knew that that was his preference, why would you even sit her there in the first place? But aside from that, it's a seat. It's a seat. It's an unpaid seat. If he was that pressed about it, he could have just sat next to his son and then let her sit on the end or by the window. It doesn't matter. You are literally saying
well, I'm going to sit here, he's going to sit here, and we're just going to have an empty seat because that's what we prefer. I think in one of the statements, they were like, oh, he was just, he misunderstood of why she was getting seated there, or he was startled, or something like that. Startled by a woman just getting sat next to you? A young woman? Harmless woman? Like, what are you startled by? You're on a plane. It's like being in the train and someone sits between you and someone else. It's a seat, babe. It's a seat. That's what it's there for, to be seated in. Not only was she mistreated by the passenger, to then the flight attendant try to move her again. And then a part that you guys didn't see because we didn't record the whole thing. And mind you, we stayed so calm, cool, and collected the whole time. Like, we did not leave our seat. We were not loud. We literally just addressed it with the flight attendant. When we addressed it with the flight attendant, she seemed like she had so much sympathy for my friend. She was literally standing there as Michelle started crying. And she's like, oh, honey, don't cry, don't cry. And then she goes to the other side to talk to him, and she's laughing with him. And then I see his daughter looking at us and laughing. They thought it was a whole mockery. The whole situation was a mockery to them. So you don't have sympathy, because if you had sympathy, then you would go over there to the gentleman and be like, you know what? This was a situation. It is what it is. You know, no, you're standing there, you're laughing with him and trying to cheer him up. Okay. Air France, you have to do better. You really, really have to do better.
The situation has sparked questions about racial bias and how airlines handle passenger conflicts. Many are now demanding that Air France provide a public explanation. Why was a paying passenger asked to move, not because she broke a rule, but simply because someone else didn't like who was sitting beside them? At the core of this issue is a disturbing message, that some passengers' preferences are valued more than others' dignity. The woman wasn't seeking confrontation. She followed directions. But instead of being supported, she was made to feel like an inconvenience, solely based on someone else's discomfort. But this moment has become a powerful reminder that racial bias can appear anywhere, even 30,000 feet in the air. If you've ever experienced something similar, or have thoughts on how airlines should handle situations like this, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more important stories that deserve attention.